This is the story of Gavin. This video is part of 7 videos made in honor of Gavin for his 7th birthday. The videos can be watched in order from 1 to 7 or whatever order you choose. Please subscribe to show your love and support. This is Gavin's mother, Danielle, sharing his story.
I noticed you have an elephant behind you. Do you want to talk about the elephant?
Yeah. Let me share why the elephant is. And this is Rainbow Baby painted that for me for today. But so the elephant story actually goes back to when I first found out that I was pregnant. It was a complete surprise because we got told the year before in 2012 that we would have any children. I went through a bunch of medical stuff, cancer stuff, a bunch of stuff, and they just said you're probably just not gonna have any kids. So when we moved in together, we thought that was it. It's just gonna be us getting old together. And surprise, surprise, I got pregnant and was not prepared, not mentally, not anything. And so at some point very early on, I was walking through like a Whole Foods store looking at stuff and probably getting prenatal vitamins, to be honest, because I was just not there. And there was a little basket bin thing with all these little animals in it. And there was a little blue animal rattle. They were all baby rattles. And immediately I just picked up this rattle. It was the first thing I ever bought for him. It was just the first thing I ever bought Gavin. So we just immediately, for whatever reason, connected elephants to him. We got him elephant blankets and elephant sheets. And during the pregnancy, we didn't want to know if it was a boy or a girl. And everything was just, there was a bunch of elephant stuff. So it just became like his symbol, which was weird because my dad said later on, elephants never forget. You just never forget it's an elephant thing. And, and they're very wise. So it kind of just suited him. I don't know if he probably picked his own toy, I guess. And it just kind of worked out. But that was the beginning of, oh, I guess I'm going to be a mom. It was the reality of like, this is really happening. And all the excitement, all the joy of becoming a first time parent. So yeah, that was the story of the elephant, of where we got why there's this symbol of the elephant.
So you didn't know the gender all through birth? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, we didn't. At one point, I got mad. I got mad at Michael, and I went over to my parents' house, and I was sitting in there, and I'll never forget. My mom was like telling me, oh, just go home and da 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 da. My mom being like the mom, and I was mad at him. I was like, I'm not going home, and I was pregnant. You're like nobody told me like there's a lot that goes on being pregnant, and so I was just mad at him, and I was sitting there, and I was like, and I was pretty far along. I might have been 7 months or so, and I was like, this baby's gonna be a boy, and it's gonna look just like him, because I was so mad at him. And after that, it was like, oh, I think it is a boy. But I was like, oh, but I didn't want to know it was a boy. So I was like mad at myself for like releasing the surprise, but it was like I knew. But I'm like, no, it's not a boy. We don't know it's a boy. And it was a boy. So
when you choose to have a home birth, it's not just, okay, I'm going to have my baby at home. A lot of the time there's the whole course of 9 months of very specialized things you do before. You do special birth classes, you take things. What did you do that's probably different than someone who's choosing a hospital birth?
To be honest, we didn't have any plans of a home birth, actually. We were, I contacted some of my friends. My friends were pregnant at the same time as me. It was kind of weird. And they had never been pregnant either. And so they all had different doctors, but I lived in a different area than them. So I called the same office as them and just kind of got on with a doctor that could get me in. And we went in, we had a bad experience. She didn't want to meet he's husband now, but boyfriend at the time. And just really didn't listen to what I said, very dismissal, just very it was a bad experience. And I left there really upset because I was so excited. I was having my first baby and I was so excited that we were even having a baby. And here it was like, you know, medical kind of just shoved me out the door. And I felt like a number, and I felt like I was just money, like a money bag running around just trying to give them money. So I left there really, really defeated and really horrible feeling, and was like, I'm never going back. And I live in such a big city. When you look up OBs, there's a lot of OBs, and it's so overwhelming to find somebody. And I was like, what do I do? And I tried looking for another one. And then we ended up, I had some friends. One of my friends was pregnant she was having a boy, and she was having her second home birth. And she was like, you know, come with me and meet my midwife. And so I kind of, okay, well, I'll check it out. And at the time it was 2013, and you look up online and they tell you to watch Business of Being Born and that kind of thing. But there was no, like, you couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything but these amazing outcomes of like birth. There was only like birth pictures and, you know, these beautiful photography pictures of like birth, and all these amazing stories of these midwives and these birth experiences and fathers catching their babies and birthing in a tub kind of thing. So water birth, I was like really, I think I wanted the water birth more than anything else about the whole birth experience. And to be honest, I didn't want a home birth at all. Actually, I was like really kind of against it. I was kind of more medical in a way. I thought I wanted to be checked out. I wanted to make sure that baby's good. I wanted ultrasounds because it's exciting to see ultrasounds and see your baby while you're pregnant. And, you know, like it's fun. It's like getting their, you know, a photo shoot of your baby on the inside, and, you know, and comparing like whose nose is that and that fun stuff. So that's what we wanted. But when I looked around, there was no birth centers here. And at the time, I didn't know why. I know now why there's no birth centers in my state. But at the time, I was like, oh, okay, it's just another thing here. Like, I didn't look into it. I didn't look into why. I didn't ask questions. I just didn't find it. So I just kept trying to seek stuff. And I went over with my friend with her midwife, and it was not for me. It was just not an experience for me, because she was one of those like, check out everybody at the same time, and everybody just hangs out and has an appointment together. It was like a group appointment. And I wanted like personal care, because this was very important to me. And it was very weird. So that was just not that was my style. And then I ended up keep looking on the internet, made appointments with other midwives. Some midwives couldn't get me in, so I thought they wouldn't be a good fit because you can't get a hold of them. And then I ended up finding her online and sending her an email. That's what it was. I sent her an email asking like if she was taking new patients and whatever, and that kind of thing. And it wasn't planned. It wasn't something I had ever thought about before. I didn't really know very much about it. I thought when I was like looking at stuff, I knew a lot about, like, you know, you're looking up online and you're finding stuff, like you must be finding what's out there, but I didn't know like it's very covered up and scaled down, and you're like watered down, like you're actually not seeing what's really out there. So that's really how I ended up in that. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't planned at all. It just happened. It just happened the way that it did. And I was about to give up because my midwife search was just not going as well. And I was like, I just gonna pick a doctor, like I'll just pick somebody, or I kind of had in my mind, like, maybe I just have this baby. Like, how am I, like, I was just kind of in a panic. And when we met with her, she met with us pretty soon, got us in, said she was going to do weekends appointments because my husband works like crazy hours. He always has. Said she would work on the schedule. We sat, like the three of us, for like over 2 hours the first time that we met her, just talking and laughing and going over all these different things. I asked her about midwives. I asked her about home birth. I asked her about water birth. Like, I asked her a bunch of questions, and she just seemed so nice. Like, so we were like, she's the perfect choice. Behind her, as she talked to us, she had like her certificate on the wall. Like, we thought we hired a nurse midwife. She referred to herself as a midwife. Like that the midwife community treats her differently because she does not super all natural. Like, we really thought we were getting like the best of both worlds. We thought we hired like a nurse, you know, like somebody that's medically trained, gonna do all the testing, which she told me that, like, I do testing and I do all these checkups and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, cool. We can have a home birth with somebody that knows what they're doing. She's educated, she's trained and knows stuff. So, and she's treating us with care. Like, she's one-on-one with us. She's listening to us. That it felt nice to have somebody that was really just listening and felt like she really cared about us, like really cared about the well-being of us, and was very excited that we were having our baby. And that's how we really just fell in the hole, or fell in the trap, I guess you could call it now. Like, looking back, it was a trap, but I didn't know. But that's what it was. It was a trap.
Once they found out what, kind of what your birth plan was, did anyone say, oh, they expressed concern? Were they worried about you, or did they have experiences they shared about their home birth? Were people pretty supportive of your plan?
I worked at a casino, so my family and everybody kind of was doing, it's your choice. Was a lot of the stuff that I heard was, it's your choice, and so it's your body, it's your choice, and women have been birthing babies, that kind of thing of whatever. Like, yeah, okay, we've been having babies. Like, nobody really thought about it. There's nobody medical in my family, and my family, my mom's side, that's kind of some of the stuff that they, it's part of a different kind of culture, but there wasn't the stuff. She didn't really know too much about it, to be completely honest. Like, water births is the thing, like, culturally in other countries and other places. It was kind of a thing because the reality is they don't have medical care. Now that there's medical care over there, it's a lot different than the things that they were doing to try to, like, take care of mom, like, pain relief wise. But when I worked in the casino and I was telling people, there was a cocktail waitress at the time, and super nice, just awesome cocktail waitress. She had a home birth. And so she was like all for it and so excited. And the other cocktail waitresses hadn't, but they were like, oh, she had one, so it must be a good thing because it was successful and it worked out for her, so it must be a good thing. So nobody actually said anything. I only had one lady who said, she was older, and she was like, I had both girls, and afterwards they both I needed medical care and they needed medical care. So if anything goes on, go to the hospital. Like, you need medical care. She was the only person that actually said anything during my whole pregnancy, where she was like, is she going to be watching you? Is she going to be monitoring you? Is she going to be checking you? And I was like, yeah, she's checking me and monitoring me, and, whatever. She was like, okay, because anything at all, like, you just go get checked out, because, she's like, it just happened, and it just whatever. But other than that, the whole pregnancy, everybody, guys and girls, guys don't really know much when they're like, oh, that's cool, natural birth, cool, that's great. And because they're not doing it, so they don't know what's going on. And, and some women were like, I had a lot of comments of, oh, I couldn't do it without an epidural. Like, oh no, wouldn't want to do it without pain relief. I heard a lot of, like, pain relief stuff, like, and I only had one that was literally, like, when I was probably like 40 weeks, it came up to me, and she literally just repeated over and over, C-section, C-section, C-section. She's like, you want me to get a C-section? I was like, I'm having a home birth. Like, we don't get a C-section. Like, that's not how it works. So it was, I was really bad at it, but nobody said anything. Nobody told me about any bad experiences with home birth. A lot of people didn't really know too much about it, is what I noticed. A lot of people, they do birth in the hospitals. That's like just like kind of the normal. So I think that's why I didn't get very much information on it. But yeah, looking back, I don't think I had anybody, and the families were kind of like, yeah, whatever you want to do. And we all thought she was a nurse, so she would be able to tell us if something was wrong and we needed medical care to go to the hospital or have a doctor, which we were also told she had a backup doctor and we had a backup hospital, but we could also go to the hospital that was near our house if we already had our kind of like our backup plan. So it seemed legit. It all seemed like it all fit together and seemed worked, but it's not that way, I guess.
Did she ever go over any of the risk factors or anything that could land, or when she would transfer, or was that all never communicated?
When we first were signing our papers and I was like first pregnant, like really early, she went over that you could have a transfer, like a transfer could happen, but she never said like why a transfer happened. She never said that like baby could be in danger. She never actually said anything like that. She more said because I'm a first time mom, we need to go over transfers because a lot of first time moms need like they need pain relief. And so that's what she said. Like most likely you're going to get transferred for pain relief. That's what she said. It was never, there was never any like risk of like anything. There was like nothing, like nothing was explained. Nothing went over. I do remember the transfer plan literally was, she told me the doctor, which was the doctor that did my C-section, but he was not her doctor. And they had never spoke before that. So that was a lie. That was just a complete lie, probably to make me feel better that the transfer plan was actually a real plan, maybe to make it seem like it's like a legit plan, but there was nothing discussed.
And did she ever maybe communicate why, or if she could come with you, or would she just like, let me rephrase. Did she ever say she would be there with you and she would be still your midwife in the hospital?
She said that if we were transferred, she would be right alongside us, like the whole time. That she wasn't going to leave us, that she'd be right there with us. And so, and again, I mean, you think she's got a backup doctor, so they must be in communication. And if we were to go to him or anything happened, she would just be right there, like, you know. And looking back, I never really thought of, did she work in the hospital? Did she whatever? I mean, I never thought of any of that stuff. But now that I look back at it with lay midwifery, they don't have anything in the hospital. And there is times that people get transferred to the hospital and their midwife is not even allowed in certain areas, or they don't let them whatever, or the midwife fails and doesn't even show up at all, or drops them or says, oh, I'll meet you there or something, and then doesn't go. So there's like so many other things that can happen. She did go there, but it was very weird thing to happen. But she just, I don't know. I guess I just thought she was going to be kind of like there, like she's always going to be like supportive. But I didn't think too deep into it until later on. Of like, not really how that works. And, you know, she was there, but it wasn't a good situation, I guess you could say too.
So you were just trying to settle in and enjoy your pregnancy with Gavin. Did you have special things that you did to prepare your home and your life for him? Did you have things that you did?
Let's see. One of the first things after we kind of had decided on doing a home birth, doing a water birth, was where are we going to put the tub? Like, you don't really actually think about it, but you're kind of like, to have our baby somewhere in the house. And so we kind of, I think we spent some time during the months as they were going, like moving furniture around, trying to decide. And I had it like in my mind that I was going to have this like blissful, like music's going to be playing, and maybe I'm going to have low lights with maybe some candles or something. And we had a fireplace in our living room. So I was like, I'm going to put the tub into the fireplace. Maybe we can have the fireplace going if it's not too hot. Like, candles going and music. It's just going to be this like nice whatever thing. But it probably took me a long time to actually figure that out, make up that plan. And I did a lot of baby shopping like crazy. I don't even know if we needed a baby shower or anything. It was like, I was working and I was like, oh, baby sheets, baby blankets. Baby onesies, like baby stuff is just, it's too fun. Like it's just too much fun to buy. So I think I spent like a lot of times like getting off from work. My husband was working weird hours, so I would just go to the store and mosey around. And then I'd be like, oh, I'm hungry. And then I knew, like, really sad, but certain stores, I knew when they got new stuff in, it was really, and all the workers knew who I was. I like hung out with them and I was like their favorite pregnant lady. I had like a bunch of like young girls that were like teenagers. You know, there's always those like teenage girls that work at like retail stores after like school or whatever. And they just were like, you're the coolest pregnant lady. I'm like, you're a lady? Like, you know, like I must be getting old. I'm a lady. And I do remember, like, I just had a few that would like hang out with me. Like, I just go shopping and hang out, have like a Slurpee or something, like hanging. Like, that's spent like my pregnancy. And I did get sick, but I wasn't too bad. It's really weird. I lived in like a very happy state, like all the freaking time. So like I would throw up, like I'd have morning sickness, day, night, intensive. I would throw up and literally be like, I like didn't like, I don't know. I just was in another world. I was just so happy to be pregnant that I just lived like in this another world. And we were like, I know it sounds kind of weird, but I felt him early on. So I felt baby really early, but yeah, we were like we were a partner. Like it sounds kind of whatever, but like everywhere I went, we were just kind of in our own little world together. And I would like talk to him when we're like driving down the road or go place like we're going to work today, and we would like, and I would be singing to him and like, okay, let's go shopping, let's go see if they have new clothes today or new shoes or like, you know, like, and so we just kind of, we were off in our own little like world. Like the world was great. Like it was just it's a happy place and everybody was just so happy and wonderful. And like, and that was my whole pregnancy. Like my whole pregnancy was, I just was like, just so happy and so content with him. And he just had like I don't know, it was like having a little person around all the time. It was kind of hard to explain. I mean, I didn't experience that before. Like I don't know how to explain it, but I was so bonded to him that even in the casino, like I hung around with my brother, one of my brothers all the time. We worked together, we did everything together, and he's like one of my best friends. And actually, he did birthing classes with me because I couldn't take Michael, so I took my brother to that was very interesting, like, you know, to take your brother. But no, we went and we would go places, and it was like, even at work, people didn't just talk to me, they talked to him. They talked to Gavin. We were having conversations where all of us were like talking and chatting, and it was like he would get excited, and like it was just a different world. Like we lived in this like happy bubble with this baby that was just a super part of our life. Like it was just, he was there before he was ever there, you know. Like we didn't have to meet him to know him, and everybody was so excited and so cool with him that we just went around and people talked to him and, you know, whatever, and he liked it, and he was just a very social baby, I guess. And so that's how we spent like our whole pregnancy. Like it was like our time together was heartburn as a mother. Oh my freaking, he had a full head of hair for sure, that happened. But he just like, yeah, he's just super cool kid. Like you just I don't know, there's something about being a mom, like of you connect with your kids so well. Like I can't even explain it, but that's what it felt like.
So he obviously, you guys had a great relationship. What were his favorite things? What did he love? Did he love a certain food? Did he love a certain song?
He loved pizza. He loved pizza, which is pretty funny because I'm pretty sure it's kind of our favorite food, pizza. And he loves ice cream. Loved, and I still to this day love ice cream. Oddly enough, there was a lot of things that he didn't like. He didn't like cookies. Like no kid doesn't like cookies. And to this day, I can't eat cookies. The only cookies that I can eat are Oreos. That's it. I don't know why, but Oreos are like, they're not like the same. They're not cookies. There's something different. That's like real dessert, I guess. But yeah, he just, I don't know. He didn't like cookies, and I've never gotten over that for some reason. I've never been able to eat cookies. And we didn't like popcorn. Like when I say that is, I tried to eat popcorn toward the end, and I had a really bad experience. I choked, and I thought I was going to die for a minute there. So like popcorn was like scary. Like so there was like a really like it was toward the end. Like I don't know how far along it was. And I just happened by chance had popcorn in it. That's ordinary eating popcorn. Popcorn's dangerous to like pregnant women or something. Like I don't know what happens when you get like whatever when pregnant. It was like there's some weird stuff that goes on, and that was one of them. But yeah, but he just I don't know. He's just his own person. When I first got pregnant, this is kind of funny. When I first got pregnant, I was working. Like I said, I worked at the casino. And we'd go eat buffet food. I went down and I was eating breakfast, and I got a plate of bacon, like a ridiculous like mountain of bacon. I did not know I was pregnant at the time. Okay, I had no idea I was pregnant, and I was like eating this bacon. I was like, wow, this bacon is so freaking good. And the guys were like, that's a lot of bacon. And I was like, no, I don't even think this is enough. I got to go back and get some more. And I probably, that weekend, my family came over, and my brother, a different brother was like, you're pregnant. And I was like, I think you're crazy. Like, I'm not pregnant. And so it was really funny because later on I looked back and I was like, that time of just before I found out that I was pregnant, I was eating like ridiculous amounts of meat. I don't know. I ate like an insane amount of like beef and bacon and like just crazy amounts of like I don't and like later on I was like, oh, it was definitely a boy. Like, you know, he was not gonna be a picky eater. He wanted his meat, you know, like I was like, it's gonna be a meat and potatoes kid. But like, yeah, he did. He loved that. Like I think we used to go out places and have burgers all the time. Burgers and pizza all the time. And some people used to bring me food actually when I was pregnant. I got a lot of free food. There's a lot of good perks to being pregnant. And one people love pregnant women, and they'll like or they're like, oh my gosh, have you had a crepe? Like I used to love eating crepes, and the guys at work used to bring me like the VPs at the casino used to bring me crepes to eat for lunch. Like they were just so sweet. They were like, we got to feed that baby. Like this is you and that baby need some food. So yeah, so we had like such good, like it was just such a good time together, I guess you could say. Good time enjoying food, enjoying life.